Hey folks, and welcome to a new episode on the DNX podcast. And today I'm really excited having one of the co-founders of one of the most exciting projects in our Digital Nomad space here with me on the podcast. It's Sarah Beyahte Sandnes. And she's the co-founder of SafetyWing, the world's first insurance for digital nomads by digital nomads. Welcome to the podcast, dear Sarah.
Hey, Marcus. Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, you're welcome. So in the introduction, I said it's a product you're building for digital nomads by digital nomads, which means you're a digital nomad yourself. So tell me, where are you now and where have you been traveling before?
Correct. Yeah. Right now I am in LA. I've only been there a few days. I'm here actually participating in making a music video while also working remotely on SafetyWing. So the past 3 months I've been based in the Bay Area because SafetyWing has been a part of the Y Combinator Accelerator program.
Wow, that's huge, right?
It's been huge. Yeah, that was huge.
So maybe you can tell a little bit more about the Y Combinator program and how's the process to get like approved and be part of this program, because I think it's a really huge milestone you achieved already.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of my co-founders, Sondre Roche, he was in Y Combinator 2 years ago, and we've known each other for 6 years, and same with our other co-founder, Hans. And we originally met in San Francisco, where Y Combinator is in the Bay Area. So while being here, participating in this entrepreneurship program called Norwegian School of Entrepreneurship, I got familiarized with Y Combinator then through the whole startup scene over there. And ever since then, it was something I knew I wanted to be a part of someday. So Sondre was actually, he was in Y Combinator 2 years ago in 2016 while running the freelancer platform consus.com, which also has a large portion of Digital Nomads working for them. And while he was working there, he wanted to offer the employees there. They had hundreds of freelancers and digital nomads, and they wanted to offer them some benefits. But they couldn't find any proper global products that they could offer them. So SafetyWing came out of this problem. It was basically just a problem that had to be solved, a big one, but someone had to do it. So he went around, tried to get someone else to start this. He couldn't find anyone. I was a digital nomad at the time. So eventually we just said, okay, now I guess it's not there. We have to do this. So we started working on this project and ended up applying for Y Combinator after having worked on it for about 6 months. At this point, we had built a website, or we're in the middle of building a website, and we're focusing on the community part because the insurance came a little bit later. So we're working on building a community on the website. But we got around to landing this amazing partnership with first our two senior insurance experts that we have on our team. Through them and their network, we ended up getting a partnership deal with Tokyo Marine, one of the world's largest insurance companies, and they have a global network they can distribute global products. There are only a few insurance companies in the world that have this kind of infrastructure. And we ended up in a dialogue with them and looked at their existing insurance products for travelers and expats. So that have some overlapping, but not totally overlapping products with digital nomads. and designed a product together with them that we then signed the papers with. And at the time we did the interview with Y Combinator, we had literally just pretty much that day finally gotten the final papers on our product. And they asked to see them. So that was thanks to that, I think, that we were able to get in. Y Combinator was a real journey. I remember the moment we got the phone call that we'd gotten into Y Combinator. We were at this restaurant just enjoying the day after having been at the interview at all. And we got the phone call and I just screamed and made a scene at the whole restaurant. So Y Combinator is actually the application process is pretty simple. It's an online application, and you sign up, you sign up to Hacker News, and you apply. You fill out the form and an application, both personal and one for the company, one for each co-founder and for the company. And then you click submit, and then if you pass through the first gate with that, then there's a phone or there's a video interview with one of the partners. And if you pass through that, then you're actually flown in to do a live interview, which is only 10 minutes long. So that was very exciting. And yeah, luckily we were able to get through. And it's been amazingly just a great journey for us to be part of it.
I'm wondering, how is it in the Bay Area and the Silicon Valley? How's the vibe? I've never been there, but obviously reading a lot about it. And yeah, I think everybody's like glorifying it a little bit. So what is it for you when you first arrived there and stepped into the scene and meeting the first people?
Yeah, so I am the CTO of the company, meaning I'm a programmer and have been that for many years. My first visit in San Francisco was actually in 2012. I did an internship there then at a company called Fastly that have since grown and become a lot larger. So my first meeting with the tech scene then was then. And I remember at that time I was 25. And, you know, coming from Norway where all those programmers are, we're the nerds, but in San Francisco, I mean, I guess we're still the nerds, but we're also rock stars, you know? Getting paid a lot and over there, and yeah, it's the whole, you know, I guess it's like being an actor in LA, or yeah, if you're a programmer in San Francisco, it's a good thing, and people are very interested in hiring you, and that was definitely a very eye-opening experience in back in 2012. I've worked since then, or since 2013. I had my first job, so I've matured a lot in my role since then. And coming back now, also San Francisco has changed. It's become even heavier on the tech side. So there's a good art scene in Oakland and neighboring parts, but the real estate prices have gone up so much that
it's crazy. It's crazy, right?
Yeah. So it's very dense with tech. But the thing about, being a digital nomad, I've felt the vibe of a lot of cities, and San Francisco's got a really special vibe to it. It's people are there, and they're, the ambition is to change the world. Of a lot of when you just go to a party and you talk to people there, it's everyone there thinks they're going to be changing the world, and it's really refreshing to be in that kind of environment. It also gives room for your own ambitions.
I think it helps a lot to dream big and have huge and bold visions, even bigger than you could dream of before, being just around these inspiring people and everybody's leveling each other up, right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Exactly. It's and and that's what, being a digital nomad and feeling the different, this is different from city to city, but all cities have their own thing that they strive for. And in San Francisco, it's a good one. It's having an impact on the world.
Okay, and you're coming from Norway. Where did you learn to code?
I studied coding in university. I mean, my first meeting with code was when I was 13 years old, and I was a big nerd back then. I mean, I guess to a big extent still am. But yeah, I was drawing
with huge glasses.
Yeah. Oh, actually, no glasses at that time. But I was drawing manga characters in
All right.
Microsoft in Paint. Yeah, and I wanted to make a website to show off my amazing artwork of manga characters. So yeah, I coded my first website to show off my manga characters. And since then, I just picked it up. I started with websites, and then I did a few simple websites just to share, like pre-Facebook, to just share pictures with friends. And I just like dabbling in Photoshop and making some not very pretty websites, but I thought they were pretty good looking back then. And it was just a natural step for me. Also, always been, a gamer, and been in that sphere, kind of the nerdy sphere. So for me, it was just a very natural step to study computer science. When I realized that that's a serious thing to study, I didn't always know that. I thought the moment I realized I can actually study what I'm interested in, and it's like a real job after, you study computers and it's legit. That was amazing to me. So yeah, from then on, I knew that that's what I wanted to do. And then I also always knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur. And I didn't know this when I applied to university back in 2007, but being a coder and an entrepreneur are very much hand in hand these days.
Yeah, really exciting. When did you go on the road and experience your first digital nomad? Being on the road, and working from anywhere and coding from anywhere. How did this start? Was there like someone inspired you, or a special event that brought you on the road?
Well, I was working in the first time I left Norway. I left for a job in London. I took the job as a lead engineer for a tech startup there. So that was my first leap, but I was definitely not a digital nomad at this point. I found a place to live, and I was there for about a year and a half. But I'm the kind of person who I need to keep challenging myself, or I get bored. And the job I had in London was very challenging. But at some point, I felt like I knew what I was doing. And while the pressure was still super high and being the lead engineer, so I just suddenly figured out, okay, I know enough now. It's time for me to. There's no excuse anymore. I need to do my own thing. So I quit that job, and then I decided to go to Chile, Santiago. It was just, I guess I just kind of knew of the freedom. There wasn't a person in particular. It was more of I didn't want to apply to another job. I knew I wanted to start my own company. I wanted to go somewhere cheaper than London.
Is it more expensive than San Francisco, or is it like equal? I'm meeting lots of people here from UK and from London.
Yeah, it's cheaper than San Francisco for sure. And still, even the most expensive cities, if you're willing to live in a shared house with, if you're willing to hustle a bit to find somewhere, you can always do it for a while. But yeah, it was about half the price of London, Santiago, and Santiago is not the cheapest place as a digital nomad either. I picked it because I have a special relationship with Chile, or even though I'd never been there before, I knew a lot about their economic history. It's also it's a first world country, so it's like it's a safe way to start out. But still you get a very exotic new culture. And yeah, it was great. I also didn't know any Spanish before I went there, but people don't speak too much English there, so I just had to pick that up.
Mm-hmm. You learned it quickly?
I wouldn't say my Spanish is great, but it took me about a month and a half to be able to converse. Yeah, no, at least sufficient Spanish to get around there.
Yeah, and what makes the nomad lifestyle so special for you? What are the biggest challenges and issues you were facing?
Yeah, so it's what makes it special to me, and the biggest challenges are very intertwined. It's the freedom, of course, and when you move around a lot, you get to you realize that you can't escape any parts of yourself anymore, because your environment keeps changing. So you get to really see the parts of you that are really you, that always come with you. That's also the challenge of freelancing, that it's always coming with you, but it teaches you how to deal with it. That was definitely, I remember, in Chile, which was my first destination, that was definitely a bit of a shock almost to see, even just a few weeks in, and it's very similar. I have a similar social life, and I'm doing the similar things, and I'm thinking about similar things, and you kind of think it's going to be new all the time, but it's not. The biggest challenging after having been a digital nomad for a while is all the relationships I make with people, especially, I mean, one thing is when I make relationships with other digital nomads, but another thing is when I make relationships with people that live in these places, that stay put there. Because you end up with racking up a lot of cities and a lot of places to go back to visit, and it gets hard to maintain all these relationships, and at the same time it's really sad to leave people behind. So accepting goodbyes for goodbyes, and being honest with yourself that you can't maintain every relationship you've ever appreciated, that's a big challenge.
I feel you. I'm on the road since 7 years now, and now I just don't say goodbye anymore, because I know, especially in the nomad world, you will meet again somewhere, and at least online.
Yeah. So other digital nomads, it's easier with, but people that live in the places I make, where it becomes a bigger problem, or because the only way to see them again is to visit back, or have them visit you, and it becomes a lot of people after a while.
Sure. Have you been to Chile? Were you going back to Chile then, or is it one of your favorite places, or what is your favorite place as a nomad? Do you have places where you check in regularly?
I definitely want to go back to Chile, so that's going to happen at some point. But there are other parts of South America that I do want to visit as well. I've never been to Mexico, so that's next on my list. I've heard great things about Mexico City. But my favorite place. I've chosen some slightly untraditional places to be a digital nomad. My favorite place is Nashville, Tennessee. Music City. In addition to being a programmer, I'm also a musician. I write songs and sing and produce.
Wow! Do you sing with a guitar or an instrument, or just vocal?
Mainly, I produce. I mean, I can dabble. I dabble a little bit with instruments, but I'm not proficient enough to be able to accompany myself. But I'm able to play a little clinky clunk here and there. I use Ableton, the software, to produce music, and that works well for me to create tunes. But Nashville is it's songwriter capital of the world. Some people would argue, and I went there to work on my music career and just really get into the industry after not having been writing for that long. And it was really fruitful, and people there were just so nice. It's a place, out of all the places I've been, it's a place where I've just been socially ingrained the fastest immediately. I'd only been there for a week, and suddenly I was invited to a bunch of house parties at people's homes. It was just very amazing to be there and experience that. And that's a place I'm going back this either May or June now to visit friends that I made there. And yeah.
Kurzhinweis zu unserem kommenden DNX-Event im Mai in Berlin mit über 1000 Teilnehmern. Die DNX ist mein Highlight des Jahres und verändert dein Leben. Du wirst die DNX-Tage nie mehr in deinem ganzen Leben vergessen und nach dem Event wird wirklich nichts mehr so sein, wie es mal war. Check alle Infos zu den Speakern, Workshops, Early-Bird-Preisen und vergünstigten Tickets für Schüler und Studenten auf www.dnx-berlin.de. Wir sehen uns im Mai in Berlin. Right. That's a fascinating combination, I think, like being a coder and working a lot with code and all the lines. And then on the other hand, having such a creative part inside of you, where you can fully play out your creativity. Does it help for you to like drawing a bigger picture when you're now in your role as a co-founder and entrepreneur of SafetyNet or SafetyWing?
I'm sorry. If the creativity and the music part and the coding part and the co-founder part have synergies. Is that...
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Definitely. When I was working my job in London, I didn't have time to do music on the side, and that was definitely really bringing me down. So now I make sure to have time for everything. And focus on like work-life balance sounds, because I mean it doesn't even feel like work. I like creating things, but I can't just create one thing. I need a little bit of I need more outlets to not become too isolated in my own head. Creating music, writing code. For me, there are definitely some similarities in terms of just there's something going on inside my head where I'm looking for this perfection or balance, and my strongest side code wise is architecture, and architecture and songwriting. I definitely feel like I'm using the same parts of my brain to a large extent, with creating this balance that feels good and not to mess things up. So with a song, you have the verses and you have the chorus and you have the bridge, and they're supposed to play independent roles and do different things. The same way in code, you would, even if you were programming a song, you would still, different objects will have different roles, and shouldn't blend into each other. So it definitely feels like I'm using a lot of the same parts of my brain. When it comes to being a founder, that's very much a little bit of everything. And it's being a musician, it's like that as well. It's a lot of networking and there are emails, and it's about meeting people and talking to and conversing to customers and in music, you need to get feedback from fellow musicians or listeners and what. So there's a lot of synergies in all of this. And I will often, even in the tech industry, I'll meet other fellow musicians and
beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So how did you come up with the idea of creating a global insurance for digital nomads?
Yeah, so as I was talking about earlier, with Sondre, when he was running Consus, just realized it didn't exist before. A proper safety net with everything that entails for freelancers and entrepreneurs, and who are not necessarily in their home country. They can be anywhere in the world. So something we wanted to fill, because it's also something we want, when a global company that offer remote working, if they want to offer benefits, it's really complicated for those companies now to be able to do that. So companies just don't do that. Our first product now is a pure travel medical insurance for digital nomads. We are working on adding more products, working on a more comprehensive health product, which will be out later this year. And that's also that is also going to be a global product. We're approaching we have two different strategies for adding preventative care to the product. In the future, we will also work on focus on the financial side of things. We know that from surveys that Sandra did with the employees of COMSIS, that one of the biggest problems and hurdles for freelancers and independent workers is the lack of income stability, because you can have 1 month where you make a lot and then suddenly 3 months where you hardly make anything. So we're working on a technical financial product, balanced income. But this won't happen until year 2. So we're first tackling insurance and then financial products next. And Sondre's background is also, he's a political advisor at the Parliament of Norway. So he's worked with developing policies for the Norwegian government. So he's got a lot of experience in what these kinds of safety nets actually entail, because we have a pretty good one in Norway.
I heard about it. So especially the Nordic countries, I think they have a great social insurance network for the people. And is it one of the ideas to deploy it for the rest of the world to give especially digital nomads some more stability in their most of the times very unstable life?
Yeah, exactly. Our vision is that it's basically going to be a membership fee that you pay, and then you have security. The way you do when you have a job and you pay your taxes.
Was it hard to get an insurance partner? Because I think this is this huge thing to go in an industry like insurances, and just getting aware of all the policies and all the things you have to be aware of.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely not something you can't just go and knock on their door. But I think we had a pretty good strategy with this. We tried a few different channels and tried to figure this out. But we realized that we don't know enough about insurance. We found 2 senior insurance people, shout out to Paul and Brian, who have been an immense help for us. They have over 30 years of industry experience and a big network, and they really believed in our vision and our idea and this market of digital nomads that the insurance industry hasn't really seen yet. So they helped us out and introduced us to insurance companies and helped us present this segment and the need of new insurance products. And through them and the American branch of Tokyo Marine, we found a really good match. We talked to some other insurance companies as well, but Tokyo Marine has really been outstanding as a partner, and I feel like we're really on the same page here with tackling this new market segment.
Just on your website, it's SafetyWing.com. And seeing these comic avatars, so is it one of your strategies to make these more technical administrative product insurances a little bit more fancy and a little bit more sexy?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We're planning. We're still early stage, but we're striving to make this as user friendly as possible. We want to make the claims process simpler. we've only taken our first big step of the long way we're going. But absolutely, we're trying to make this. When you see these friendly birds, that's kind of the feeling we want you to have when we're using our services.
I love it. I love it. Who was drawing them?
So yeah, we have our team. Our team is currently 5 people. It's Hans, Sandra, and I are the co-founders. But since day one, we've had a freelancer named Sean McIsaac. He is a genius. He is both an illustrator and a front-end engineer and a web designer. So everything you see there, all the visual stuff is just coming right out of his brain. And we have this very interesting way of working that he came to the team with. This was something he's been a freelancer for years, and he knows that he prefers actually working with the client, not just getting some orders and sitting there and working. He likes working with the client. So we've adopted the system of creating a virtual office. So we will literally sit for a full workday every workday on Hangouts, and he shares his screen, and we can see him draw the characters and do the web design. Most of the time, I'm just sitting as in a regular office as a coder with my headset on, listening to music and coding. But it's a virtual office, and he has been really amazing at implementing the system and doing all these drawings, and it was actually the first thing we came up with. Even before we had the insurance, we were trying to figure out, okay, we want to have something that really we can stand for in terms of our values and to make us seem approachable. And we came up with so Digital Nomads and free, and so birds, and then we're thinking and our generation, well, we're all, me, Sondre, and Hans are right around 30, all of us. So we grew up with Disney, so we decided let's go with kind of like Disney-looking birds. And we've just totally fallen in love with them. And they're almost real to us now.
Cool. I love them a lot. So what makes your insurance special for Digital Nomads? What is your USP? What is different to other products which are not just like targeted on Digital Nomads? Because I think nowadays most of the nomads, they have to go like in the ordinary insurance world, and it gets complicated.
Yeah. So one of the things we added in to this product is that you can pay for it as a subscription. So you can just start it, and then it just kind of goes. So every 28 days you'll pay, and it will just auto renew. So you don't have to decide start date and an end date. It's also valid worldwide, and you can buy it mid travel if you're already in your digital nomad destination. You can still buy it, and it will be valid from day one.
Right.
So that's really great. It's when we tailored the things that it included, we looked at it from our own needs and took out the things that we don't think we would need, and made sure to include the things that seem important. So basically everything you would need is covered, and it's stronger on the medical side, because that's what we care the most about. Is that in case something happens.
Yeah. What I think is really, really smart and beautiful for nomads is that you're also covered in your home country.
Yeah.
Because nowadays many nomads have to get in foreign insurance while they're traveling and put their home country insurance on pending. And once they get back, they have to cancel the other insurance and activate the home country insurance. And it's a big hassle.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I know all about that. I used to. So travel insurance is usually pretty reasonable in Norway. So that was one of my insurance strategies. Used to be to just go back and forth to Norway to in asterisk just renew my my travel insurance. I don't know how legal that is, but yeah, that's what I used to do. I'm sure a lot of other Europeans do that.
Yeah.
But so we actually have every 90 days you can stay up to 30 days in your home country and be covered. That's 15 days for if your home country is the US. But yeah, so you can go home to holidays and you can still be on the SafetyWing insurance for medical emergencies. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really excited for you. It's really a product I was personally waiting for a very long time, and I'm also very familiar with all the workarounds and the hacks you have to use, being properly covered while being on the road. And this seems like really legit and tailor-made for digital nomads. Perfect. Well done. Well done, Sarah. Yeah, thanks for your time and thanks for your creation and thanks for setting this great product up for the nomad world and taking us with you to the Bay Area in San Francisco.
Yes, I know, of course, and I'm really happy about this journey we're on. I really feel like we're doing something important, and we're here to communicate with. So if anyone ever has anything to say or any wishes about what they want to see in terms of a safety net for digital nomads, we're here.
Yeah, so maybe tell us the website again and where can people contact you?
Yeah, so it's www.safetywing.com. So as in the wing of a bird, so safetywing.com.
And there people can also find the contact form and just ping ideas and
we have
get in communication with you.
Yeah, absolutely. You can find me on sarah@safetywing.com. That's a good place to reach me. And,
perfect.
Yeah. We are also working on a community, and I mean we have a lot of plans in parallel. We have only been going for a year. Thinking about doing embassies around the world. It's but one thing at a time. So insurance for now.
Insurance for now. I think it's a good start because this is a huge problem, a huge issue for many of the nomads to get you on the map in the nomad world and then go on from there. Because there's a big need for this one for sure, and also for community, because this is one of the challenges for digital nomads, feeling lonely and you're not really an expat, you're not a tourist, you're not a local, so it's very special. And just connecting with other nomads, it's not always easy to find your tribe.
Exactly. Yeah, your tribe becomes other digital nomads who are all over the world, like a web.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Thank you so much, Sarah, for your time.
Me.
Yeah. You're welcome. And see you hopefully soon somewhere on this beautiful planet Earth.
See you at DNX in September.
You're joining for Lisbon. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, that's going to be great.
Okay. So for everyone listening, we are doing our annual big DNX festival in Lisbon this year in September 22nd, and the sales just open now. And Sarah will be also there, and maybe some more co-founders from your team. And we're very happy to have you with us.
Thank you.
Thanks for this. Thank you so much, Sarah, and see you.
Thank you, and see you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Hey du. Ja, genau du. 1000 Dank für deinen ongoing Support vom DNX-Podcast und fürs Zuhören. Und am Ende von dieser Podcast-Folge möchte ich dich gerne kurz in meine Welt der globalen DNX-Bewegung einladen. Und los geht's mit der kostenlosen DNX-Facebook-Community. Die DNX-Community ist für alle angehenden digitalen Nomaden und alle anderen Podcast-Hörer und Freigeister, die Bock auf einen nachhaltigen und holistischen Lifestyle haben. Die DNX-Facebook-Gruppe ist von 0 auf mittlerweile über 13.000 Mitglieder gewachsen. Und ich bin jeden Tag persönlich in der Facebook-Community am Start, beantworte Fragen und helfe, wo ich kann. Die kostenlose DNX Facebook-Community findest du unter www.dnxcommunity.de. Und jetzt kommt's. das Event, mit dem alles angefangen hat, ist das DNX Festival in Berlin. Wir erwarten dieses Jahr im Mai 2018 über 1000 gleichgesinnte und motivierte Freigeister, die die Welt verändern. Für mich ist die DNX echt immer das Highlight meines Jahres und einer der wenigen Momente, wo ich mich auch wirklich darauf freue, nach Deutschland zurückzukommen. Und ich verspreche dir, du wirst die Tage auf dem DNX-Event nie mehr in deinem ganzen Leben vergessen. Die DNX verändert dein Leben. Wir haben das nicht nur 10 Mal gesehen, nicht nur 50 Mal, nicht nur 100 Mal, nicht nur 500 Mal. Schon über 1000 Mal habe ich gesehen, dass Leute transformiert sind, nachdem sie auf einem von unseren Events gewesen sind, sei es bei den Konferenzen, sei es bei den Camps, sei es über den Podcast, sei es über die Academy, sei es über die Facebook-Community, wie auch immer, so inspiriert geworden sind, dass sie alles daran gesetzt haben, auch ortsunabhängig arbeiten zu können. Sich selbstständig gemacht haben, ihren alten Job gekündigt haben, angefangen haben, das erste Geld zu verdienen, on the road gegangen sind und jetzt treffen wir all diese Tausende von Leuten von unserer DNX-Community in den digitalen Nomaden-Hotspots auf dieser ganzen Welt. Also sei es jetzt in Bangkok, in Chiang Mai, in Medellin, in Barcelona, in Bangkok, in Berlin, in Lissabon. In den Nomad-Hotspots dieser Welt trifft man die Leute, die auch vorher auf einem Event von uns gewesen sind und dann auf die Reise gegangen sind und aus ihrem konventionellen 9-to-5-Leben ausgebrochen sind. Ich freue mich auf dich, wenn wir uns persönlich im Mai auf der DNX sehen und wenn das dann dein Start in dein neues Leben ist. Alle Infos zu den Speakern, Workshops und Tickets zur DNX findest du auf www.dnx-berlin.de. Wir haben auch vergünstigte Tickets für Schüler und Studenten am Start. Weiter geht's mit dem kostenlosen DNX Newsletter. Und wenn du dich für unseren Newsletter anmeldest, teile ich mit dir meine 7 Erfolgsgeheimnisse. Meine 7 Erfolgsgeheimnisse auf dem Weg zum ortsunabhängigen Unternehmer, der von der ganzen Welt aus arbeiten kann. Jede Woche bekommst du den DNX Spirit und richtig wertvolle Inhalte in deine Inbox. Die Anmeldung zum DNX Newsletter findest du unter www.dnxnews.de. Die DNX Academy ist deine Plattform für transformierende Online-Kurse in den Bereichen Online-Business, Gesundheit, Fitness, Mind and Soul. Die Academy-Plattform ist dein Number One Place to go, wenn du spürst, da geht noch mehr in deinem Leben. Wir holen nur die allerbesten Experten in die Academy und teilen unser Wissen mit dir in einer der kostenlosen Masterclasses. Durch unsere DNX-Events haben wir Zugang zu den besten Speakern und zu den besten Experten zu den Themen Online-Business, Gesundheit, Fitness, Mind and Soul und holen dir kostenlos, diese Experten kostenlos in die DNX Academy. Check also jetzt die kostenlosen Online-Kurse unter www.dnxacademy.de. Weiter geht's mit dem internationalen englischsprachigen DNX Festival im September 2018 in Lissabon. Lissabon ist in Portugal und auch ein digitaler Nomaden-Hotspot und das ganze Event wird mit Speakern und Teilnehmern aus aller Welt stattfinden. Letztes Jahr in Lissabon hatten wir Teilnehmern aus über 50 verschiedenen Nationen und Ländern auf dem DNX Festival am Start. Die Leute fliegen aus aller Welt ein und wir haben nur die allerbesten Speaker auf dem DNX Main Event, auf der DNX Main Stage und haben neben dem Main Event natürlich auch wieder viele Pre-Events, haben eine fette Party, haben Meetups in der ganzen Stadt. Also wir übernehmen als Digital Nomads komplett Lissabon und haben natürlich auch wieder einen Workshop Day mit, ich glaube, über 20 Workshops, wo wir dann noch tiefer in die verschiedenen Themen der digitalen Nomadenwelt einsteigen. Also, save the date, alle Tickets und alle Infos, alle Speaker findest du unter www.dnxglobal.com und das ist unser fettes internationales Event, das immer im September in Lissabon in Portugal stattfindet. Next, wir haben jetzt auch einen englischsprachigen DNX-Podcast mit einem Native Speaking Host am Start. Das heißt, nicht mehr ich werde mir einen abbrechen und versuche Englisch zu sprechen mit den Leuten, sondern wir haben die liebe Silvia Christmann am Start, die in New York und überall auf der ganzen Welt groß geworden ist, aber Englisch flüssend und native speakt, hätte ich fast gesagt, spricht und deshalb der perfekte Podcasting-Host ist. Und der DNX-Podcast auf Englisch ist jetzt ganz frisch an den Start gekommen. Es gibt schon die ersten Episodes, die ersten Folgen und es sind einfach richtig geile Menschen, die da auf dem DNX-Podcast gefeatured werden und den englischsprachigen Podcast am besten direkt subscriben, auch eine Bewertung abgeben. Damit nehmt ihr automatisch an einem Gewinnspiel für Tickets für die DNX Lissabon und die DNX Berlin teil. Und den englischsprachigen DNX-Podcast findest du unter www.dnxpodcast.com. Last but not least, der DNX Backpack. Der DNX Digital Nomad 35 Backpack ist der Rucksack für alle digitalen Nomaden mit hunderten von Fächern in Handgepäckgröße. Der DNX Rucksack wurde zusammen mit euch, zusammen mit dir, zusammen mit der DNX Community entwickelt. Wir haben über 1000 Einsendungen zu unserer Umfrage bekommen, haben über 1,5 Jahre an dem Rucksack entwickelt und jetzt bin ich mega happy über das Ergebnis und will nie mehr ohne meinen DNX Rucksack um die Welt reisen. Ich bin gerade in Kuala Lumpur auf dem Visa Run, morgen geht es wieder zurück nach Thailand. Und der Rucksack ist immer am Start und er ist richtig geil geworden. Alle Infos zum DNX-Rucksack findest du unter www.dnxshop.de. Und ganz am Ende von dieser Folge möchte ich dich jetzt um einen Gefallen bitten. Du kannst mir am meisten helfen, wenn du jetzt zu iTunes gehst und dort nach Markus Meurer oder DNX-Podcast suchst und eine Bewertung zum Podcast hinterlässt. Du kannst auch auf www.dnxpodcast.de/iTunes gehen, dann wirst du direkt auf den Podcast in iTunes weitergeleitet oder du öffnest die Podcast-App im iPhone, gehst unten rechts auf die Lupe, suchst dann nach Markus Meurer oder nach DNX-Podcast und dann auf Bewertung abgeben. Schreib mir einfach 1 oder 2 Sätze als Feedback zur Show und vielen Dank jetzt schon mal an dieser Stelle für deine Bewertung, denn deine Bewertung hilft, dass der Podcast von noch mehr Menschen gefunden wird und wir gemeinsam weiter wachsen und noch spannendere Gäste und Themen auf den Podcast bekommen. That's it, meine Lieben. Danke für alles. Peace and out. Dein Markus.